Action, mostly. Mostly a lot of action. Mostly watching a lot of action films, you know, like Arnold Schwarzenegger, Sylvester Stallone, Wesley Snipes, of course, you know, Denzel Washington, you know, people like that. Jackie Chan a little as well. Martial arts. Some old movies of Bruce Lee as well. Jet Li, you know, things. And I can't forget the illustrious, infamous Mr. Chuck Norris. I love action movies because I'm just an action person. I mean, maybe it's a New York in me. Maybe it's a Brooklyn in me. Maybe from running from shootouts all the time in the projects and running from people that, you know, didn't like me. I was just an action person. I just love action. And, you know, watching all the Schwarzenegger movies and stuff like that and everything, and watching the Rambo movies or Sylvester Stallone. I was just an action person. I just love action. Action's my thing, you know. Maybe I got it from my dad. He was a action type of guy also, you know, watching his movies back when he was coming up in the old days. So I just been an action type of guy. Unicorn Man? It started through music. I actually used to be a recording artist. You know, try to be a hip hop artist, a singer, etc. You want to name it. I was born to be greater, but in my development, I experienced a lot of haters, men, women, and even hard-headed children. I showed love while you're holding a grudge like a wife to a husband. And when I did music videos, you know, like my own music videos, original music videos, I actually saw myself on TV. They played me on this thing called Video Music Box for Make It or Break It. You know, some of y'all in New York and Jersey and Philly, I mean California, may know of, you know, VJ Robert Daniels. Big shout out to Robert Daniels. You know, even though him and I never met, but I spoke to him on the phone. He did play my video. And when I saw that, I said, I can act. And then one day, a friend of mine, an old friend of mine, old friend of the family, one of my actors by the name of Robert Flood, one of the actors I work with, his aunt owned property. And one of the properties she owned was a building in Brownsville, Brooklyn. And he used to stay in the basement. So I told him, yo, I want to do like a short film with you and I. He said, all right, no doubt. I'm with that, you know. Hope you can hear me because it's the typical day in New York City, ambulance and cops and everything. So him and I made this, you know, like I said, I had a friend of mine named Robert Flood. We did this short film inside his aunt's basement apartment building that she owned in Brownsville, Brooklyn. And we played as drug dealers. I had these fake toy guns. They look real though, I'll be honest with you. They look like it was really real. And the shotgun hand, you know, sort of shotgun, I had a couple of them. I had some white domino sugar to play as drugs. I think I had a couple of cigarettes and everything, and we was playing like drug dealers. It was dark. It kind of reminded you of a scene from the Power series or BMF, what 50 Cent did, you know. And when I saw that, it convinced me more to want to start, you know, getting more into acting. But right there and then, that didn't really strike me as hard to want to try to create my own. Okay, after I did several auditions for like TV shows, you know, movies and everything, I did an audition for The Cosby Show. And I was really happy and excited about doing that. And I thought I was gonna really make it. You know, the director had me do a scene, say you're supposed to be Theo's friend. You know, rest in peace to Michael Jamal Warner, you know. And I thought I was gonna get it. And after a couple of weeks, I didn't know the business too well. And after a couple of weeks, nobody called me. I didn't know it was like a lottery. You gotta, you may get a call, you may not. I mean, right now it's a lot different because we got the internet and stuff. But I didn't know it was like that. So I got frustrated. I took it personal. I started feeling like the industry, Hollywood, treating me people like in my neighborhood, you know, with hate, okay? And then, so I said, something told me on the inside, listen, I'm gonna create I know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna create my own stuff. I'm gonna write my own film, I'm gonna direct my own film, I'm gonna star in my own film, and I'm gonna get other people like myself who's trying to make it and put them on. Then in the future, once my name get out there, then I'll be able to get the money to hire the Denzel Washington, the Halle Berrys, and the Wesley Snipes and everything. Okay, and that's exactly what I did. I mean, I didn't hire the big names I just threw out there, you know, not yet. But I did put other people on that work with me. So that's how I started. I got interested in working through my own films. Kind of came through a frustration that I wasn't getting no call back because I didn't really know the business. And then I decided, you know, I'm gonna do me. I'm gonna do my own thing. I don't have to wait on nobody. You know, Tanya, I really don't know about this. I mean, we can turn back around. I'm sure I'm better don't even know we're coming.
Not to stop, Antoine. Not to stop.
Yes, I do a lot of improv, yes. The only reason I do improv because it's very creative, but also I started off as a writer, and a lot of my actors, I would give them a month or so to rehearse. And it seems like, okay, if I get one actor and they can't get it right, then I get another actor, they can't get it right, I get another, and I say, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm just gonna improv. Because working with y'all, I'll be 100 years old before I really get my first project out. You know, I mean, if it take that long, it take that long. So I decided, let me do improv. And I just started doing improv. Improv is actually freestyle in motion picture. But I mean freestyle, just like rap artists, they freestyle from the top of their head on rapping. Improv is the same thing. What's that you got there?
Oatmeal burger.
Oatmeal burger?
Yeah, you never heard of an oatmeal burger?
No, what's an oatmeal burger?
Oatmeal, raisins, chopped up peanuts, and a little bit of honey. Want to try some?
Nah, I'm good.
Are you sure you don't want some?
No, I'm okay.
You don't know what you're missing. Alright. Oatmeal burger. It's not just for breakfast anymore.
One way I found my actors, I did this thing called background. Now, background is where, hold on a second. Come on, go somewhere with that. Typical New York day. Well, I found my actors in different ways. One way when I first started finding my actors, I did this thing called background. That's working as an extra. I was an extra in several movies and TV shows and stuff, and commercials. And we had this thing called the holding, where they hold all the actors and stuff like that, the background talent, while the production set up for the next scenes for us to come in. And I would start talking with some of the background actors, saying, listen, I'm a producer, I'm a director, I'm acting too, I'm writing my own stuff, I'd like to audition you. You know, they said, all right, cool. We exchange information, you know, phone numbers, emails and stuff like that. And then, you know, I would audition them, and then they'll tell me, they'll tell everybody, so you got the part. Then they'll tell everybody else who they know, he auditioned me, yeah, he's doing film. And then I will put ads on the internet, you know, like on Craigslist, or I'll put ads on social media and stuff, and I'll let people know what I do, and other people tell people about me, and that's how I get my talent.
What happened?
I said, we got the little bird over there like he's actually an audience. Got your mouth open? Well, keep open that mouth because I ain't feeding you. Somebody feed you, don't worry about it. Are you talking to me? Okay. Like he's saying, beep you, beep you. Hey, little birdie.
Do you ever feed birds?
Yeah, I feed the birds all the time. You know, in my spare time, you know. They said when you start doing that, that's a sign you're getting old. But nah, that's a sign of you just, you know, like to get back to the animal community. You know, but I do feed the birds at times, yeah. I know it's kind of strange to see a black man feeding birds, because that's not our model.
Why is that strange?
Because you don't normally see African American, blacks, Spanish, Latinos feeding the birds. You know, especially with black, you don't normally see us doing that.
If you don't see blacks doing it, then who do you see doing it?
I see mostly Caucasians doing it.
Oh,
Okay, I see maybe Asians. Okay, every now and then I may see an elderly Spanish person doing it. There's nothing wrong with that. Don't get me wrong. Maybe every now and then, but we don't really get down like that. But I don't mind. You know, they got to eat. You know, if I have some bread for the little one, I'll give you some. Yeah, don't look like Kevin Hart. So, little birdie, God's gonna take care of you. He's gonna feed you. Okay? Don't worry about it. Somebody give you some bread. Some white people. Okay?